number 20. All right, you had angle A was 30 degrees. All right, A is 4, B is 8. All right, and I think all these were side-side angle, weren't they? Okay, so we're looking at the acute case. 30 degrees, here's angle A. All right, now, before we fill in the rest of it, let's go over the acute case and what could happen. All right, so what happens if the bigger of the two sides is across from 30? One triangle, okay? If the smaller side is across from 30, then we have to compare the smaller side times the longer, or compare the smaller side to the longer side times the sine of the angle, okay? So now let's see what case we got here. We got 4 is going to be right there for little a. All right, you want to put b at the top, okay? And so little, or 8 would go at the bottom for little b. So this one's got to be c, and this one's going to be little c. All right, right. So since the smaller side is across from the angle, we've got to make that comparison. So we're going to compare 4 to 8 times sine 30. All right. So let's see. I don't know what 8 times sine 30 is. I think it's 4. It is, because sine of 30 degrees is a half. All right. So that is 4. So that means this would be equal to, so one triangle. At least it's not true, two triangles, right? All right. So let's go over, if it's less than, it means no triangles. Okay, if it's equal to like this, it's one triangle. If it's greater than, then it's the dreaded two triangles. Okay, but it's just one triangle on this one. All right, now let's, one. Okay. I don't know, I hadn't figured that out. It's probably just going to be like worth twice a normal problem because you're doing two triangles. I don't know, I'm trying to work that out right now, figure out how to count that. Okay. Now, let's look at what we can find here. Now, we should spot now what laws of sine. We should spot these two. Always try to look for the where the side and the angle where you have them both. Okay, that really tells you laws of sine when you see that. Now, let's see what I could find with it. So notice with the C ratio, you don't know the side or the angle, so you're not going to get anywhere with the C ratio. So with the B ratio, you know the side, but you don't know the angle. So we could use that one, couldn't we? Along with these two. All right, so let's set up this one and say 4 over sine of 30 equals 8 over sine of B. All right, here we go. That's A over sine of A equals B over sine of B. All right, now let's cross multiply. So we'll get 4 sine of B equals 8 sine of 30. Okay, all right, now what? Right. Now, that's not going to give me B, that's going to give me sine of B. Okay, right, we need the inverse. But his hands are full. Amen. So let's see, let me punch it. 8 sine 30. All right, divided by 4. All right, and that's the sine of B, right? Okay, so let's find the inverse sine of that. Okay, 90. Yeah, go ahead. And it's not most likely, it's going to be a right angle. It's going to be a right triangle. Okay, now from there, since that's a right angle, we could really take advantage of that, couldn't we? All right, so this is 90. Okay, so this one's going to be 60. And instead of using laws of sine, since it's a right triangle, how could I find C? Pythagorean Theorem would be much easier, wouldn't it? All right. But we're only doing that because it turned out to be right triangle. Okay. So we can say, right, C squared plus 4 squared equals 8 squared. Subtract 16 from both sides. That's going to give me 48. All right. Like simplify it? No, because the directions say round to whatever. Okay. So you don't have to simplify the radical since the directions say that you can round there. So you go square root of 48, okay, is about 6.9. So that one was really different. Okay, and it's very, very rare that you actually get it to equal out. Okay, but when it does mean it's going to be a right triangle. All right.